Hey guys, welcome to this course on coding in the age of AI. A few years back, learning coding could have been a tedious task. But now that we have artificial intelligence, how would you go about coding? So, this course is for people that are interested in integrating AI in their workflow, people that just want to learn coding from scratch, but they don't know how to go about it. We'll go through the basic concepts of coding in Python, and then we'll also go into R later on. So stay tuned. Let's get right into it. So, coding in the age of AI, a short Python course. So, what's the objective of the course? So, we designed the course to help you start your programming journey by mastering core Python concepts. So we'll use relatable, simple examples for you to easily understand. Now, what will you learn in this course? Number one, you'll be able to run and write your Python codes. You understand variables, data types, and user inputs. You'll be able to use conditions and loops to control program flow. You'll be able to call and create functions. You'll be able to work with lists and dictionaries. You'll be able to understand package imports and management. You'd also be able to explore concepts like file I/O, error handling, and classes. And finally, this is the exciting part. We will build a real world project. And what is this coding that we are just talking about? So think of it as giving an instruction to a computer in a language that it understands. So think of a kid, think of an adult, a professor. How would you speak to them? You speak to them in different ways. Now, a machine is something like that. You speak to it in a language that it understands. We have some examples over here. So, like cooking, when you're writing down your food recipes, you you will write it down in processes, right? So coding is just like that. Also, direction, your Google Maps direction, it tells you turn left, go right, go straight forward. So that is also a scenario or something you can think coding is like. You need to give it direction and step by step direction. Also, for our musicians in the house, writing a musical score, it also follows pattern. So there are different ways you could think of coding. Now, there are several use cases of coding in the real world. Presently, we have websites, mobile apps, video games, smart devices, data analysis. I mean, there are a lot of ways that we can use coding in this day and age. Now, why are we using Python? Why Python? So I wrote down three reasons for us. Number one, for simplicity and readability. Number two, versatility. Number three, AI and machine learning compatibility. Now, the first one, simplicity. Python is simple to learn. Trust me. It is simple. The syntax, it is interpretable in human-like language, right? It has English-like syntaxes. It is easy to learn, fast to learn, and also write compared to other languages, and it is great for beginners. Now, versatility, we have web development, application design, data science and analysis. We have, machine learning, automation and scripting, game development. I mean, a whole lot of things. Now, for the AI and machine learning compatibility, a lot of AI concepts that we'll be discussing later on, they were done with Python, right? So it is dominant in the AI and machine learning community. So I feel it would be a great place for you to start Python. And it has a rich ecosystem. It has a wide range of libraries and frameworks. And also it has a great community support. It is active and they can help you out, and there are a lot of resources out there. So that is the reason we are going with Python first. Now, IDEs. You might have heard this somewhere or not, but what is an IDE? It is an integrated development environment. Now, an IDE is an application It provides a comprehensive facility for computer programmers to do their software development. Now, it consists of source code editors, build automation tools, and also a debugger. That is just a general perspective of it. Now, it simplifies the process of coding by combining multiple tools into a single interface. It is just for ease of use. It's think of an engine, a car engine. A car engine without a car, I don't know if you'd get anywhere, right? So an IDE is just, it's a tool that helps you organize your things. It brings in useful tools that would aid your coding journey. Without it, you might still be able to code, but it won't be as seamless. So we have a couple of examples here. We have Jupyter Notebook, Visual Code Studio, PyCharm, and a whole lot of other IDEs available out there. So something you need to note when programming is how to think about programming. We mentioned cooking. So you need to think in steps, break down your task logically. You need to think in steps. Don't think in random order, right? Sometimes it is even ideal to write your thoughts down, break it down into steps so that you can, work on it. The next thing is start small, then build it up. Start small, then scale it up. A lot of things in life just goes that route. Just start small and build it up. Now, debugging is not failure. You would encounter errors. Trust me, you will always encounter errors. The best software developers still encounter errors. So you'd encounter errors, but you don't need to break down. It is not the end of the world. Now you need to let AI help you. Now that we have AI, you don't need to search the internet for results. It is at the tip of your fingers, but you need to understand what is happening. And that is the reason we are having this course, right? We are trying to let you understand the basics and also how to include AI into that and help you in the learning process. So how do you talk to artificial intelligence? So some people call it prompting, and it's a generally accepted term. So we'll look at key prompting techniques. Number one, you have to be specific. Clearly states your goals and your constraints. So for example, write a Python function to calculate factorial for a non-negative integer. Include docstrings and typings. So some of these languages might be strange to you, but after this course, there will be things that you would already know. So once you know those things, you can now instruct AI to help you out. So you have to be specific. Next thing you need to do is provide context. Artificial intelligence does not live in your brain, so you need to give it context. So explain the problem you are trying to solve. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I need this, I need that. Be precise and provide context in whatever you do. Now, the next thing is you can also define how you want the output to look like, right? You need it in JSON format. You want it to provide only the code, provide code and explanation, or, you need to specify what you actually need. Don't assume the AI knows what you want. So you need to give examples. And that is also the next one. Give examples. Show what you want, right? After defining your output format, you need to give examples. Okay, I want the example to be the answer is 5 and the reason it is 5 is blah, blah, blah. That is an example of an output you need, right? Then the next one is iterate and refine. Your first prompt might not be perfect, but when you refine it over and over again, ask follow-up questions, and also an approach you can take is ask AI to ask you what it needs to answer your question. That is also a great way to prompt AI, right? So you can try that out. I mean, make sure you are always clear. You are not ambiguous in your prompt. The next thing is break down complex tasks. For human beings, you need to start small and build it up. For AI too, you need to break some things down, right? If you have like a big project, just start small so that it can help you and you can, build it up until you get to your final product. So now the tools we'll be using for this course is Visual Studio Code. We'll be using Visual Studio Code and GitHub Copilot, right? So Visual Studio Code, that is also VS Code, is free open source code editor and it is created by Microsoft. So GitHub Copilot is an AI-powered pair programmer developed by GitHub and OpenAI. Now, GitHub Copilot is available in the IDE. Remember, what is an IDE? Visual Studio Code is one of the IDEs we mentioned earlier. So we'll be going with this. And once you integrate your GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio Code, you'll be able to use them together. So, all right, guys, let's get right into it. Now, for Python, you need to first install Python, download it, then install it before downloading Visual Studio Code. So how to download Python, you just come to python.org, then click on downloads. You see for different operating systems. So we have Windows, we have Mac. Download the one applicable to your device. And once you've done that, you just need to go through the installation process. It is seamless and straightforward. So install it in your device. Then you come to Visual Studio Code. So it is code.visualstudio.com. Then you go to the downloads page. You would see the different downloads available for different operating systems. So download the one applicable to your system and install it just like you installed Python. So once you installed it, you should be seeing this for your Visual Studio Code, right? So this, you should be seeing something like this. So because I've been using mine, so it's kind of different from what you'll be seeing. So what to do, how do you put in GitHub Copilot? You come to extensions over here, then search for GitHub Copilot. So it will come up, then you need to install it. Once you install your GitHub and it is enabled, you can see the GitHub icon over here, and you can open your chat if it's not yet open. So this is the chat area, right? So you can ask anything, you can tell it anything. It can interact with your folders and all of that good stuff. So once you have this ready, then you're ready for the next part of our course. So now that you have your VS Code up and running, you need to download a couple of extensions. So just come to extensions over here, then search for Jupyter. So you'd see the Jupyter Notebook extension. Make sure you install that. Then you can also install the Python extensions. So Python over here, can install that, and also your Python environment. Install that just to make sure you have a seamless coding experience. So now to open a new file, you can come to File, then New File. You'll see a drop down over here that asks if it is a text file, Python, or Jupyter Notebook. So click on Jupyter Notebook and you would have your notebook started for you. So that will get you ready for the class. Thank you and see you in the next module.